Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Elevate Online. Glad you guys are here. We have a new fun challenge that you can participate in. The name of the game is Coin Snatch Challenge. Here's how it works. You get, starting off with 5 coins, and you go in increments of 5, and within 3 shots, you got 3 chances to put it on your elbow, and then you grab them in midair. Whoever can get the highest amount of coins wins. So here's how it's gonna work. You submit your video, you get the coins, you do the challenge, you submit the video, make sure you tag us at elevate_3i on any social media platform that you have out there, and then whoever wins, whoever gets the most coins will win a special gift prize thing. A gift card. You will win a gift card. So, without further ado, let's get this challenge going. All right, shot number 1, 5 coins. All right, that's 1. 10 coins. Woo! That's 10. 15. 15! I do realize that most people don't even have coins in their house anymore, so go find that piggy bank. 20 coins. 20 coins! I'm doing so much better than I thought I would. 25. Take 2. All right, last shot. 1.
10 coins. 10 coins, round 2. 10 coins, round 3.
Go.
Get this one on video. This is the one, I feel it. I won. See, I told you.
5 coins, 10. Yeah, 15.
Yeah. Ooh, close.
That was not even close.
Ooh.
Apparently I was like trying to reach it too soon. 5 coins.
Guys, let's see if I can catch 1 coin. Good, I haven't catch nothing yet. I haven't caught a coin, so yeah. Okay.
They all stayed together.
Go, Katie, go. Oh, did you get it?
All right, guys, I was able to get 20. Catch 20, you get 3 shots. Whoever can get the most wins. Send us your videos, send in whatever way you can. Tag us, elevate_3i, and we'll see you guys next time. Hello and good morning, everybody. Glad you're here. So obviously we are not at the church today, or I mean you might be, but I'm not, because long story short, I'm in quarantine, and but I got a good message for you guys today. But before we get into it, I want to ask you a few fill in the blanks. Okay, you guys know what I'm talking about, like fill in the blank questions. Okay, so I got popular phrases that I want you to say out loud, say in the comments or whatever. You have to do it quick because I'm gonna go by quick. But here they are. Out of sight. Okay, let's try this one. Sweep it under the answer rug. Now, what do all of those phrases have in common? Well, they all kind of have to deal with things that are unseen, things that we choose rather deliberately or semi-undeliberately choose not to look at, choose not to pay attention to, maybe put aside. You know, like sweep under the rug. We know it's there, but we kind of put it under the rug. I think it's a common human understanding that we often try to deal with things that are right here, right now, rather than trying to deal with things in the future. In other words, I think a lot of us have the problem of procrastination. Now, here's like an example. If you had a one-page paper due in 2 days and then a 10-page paper due in a week, which one are you more likely to do tonight? Right, you're more likely to do the 2-page one. But let me throw another curveball at you here. How many of you guys wait till like the last day or two to get on that 10-page paper? Probably a lot of us, a majority of us, because we rather deal with things right here, right now, especially when it comes emotionally, when it comes to physically, when it comes to just our brain space. We'd rather wait till later to do something than do it right now. And the same kind of goes when it comes to our soul. Because it is out of sight, because we can't physically see our souls, we often put its care, put its health to the side. We often sweep it under the rug. We often go, oh, I'll do that later. I'll work on its health later, or I'll pay attention to it later. I think we all probably agree that we say that we want to take care of our bodies. We say we want to take care of our souls a lot, but when push comes to shove, we just keep pushing it aside. We keep sweeping it under the rug. We keep not actually paying attention to it. So why are we talking about this? Well, today we are starting, actually I take that back. Today we are continuing a series titled Soul Searching. And if you were joining us last week, we are talking about the soul, the thing inside of us that lasts for eternity. And last week we started the series by talking about the Sabbath and how it's very vital. In fact, it's kind of God instructed for us to take Sabbath and to use it and to take rest, how important that is. And today we are continuing that talk about the soul and what that means for us. And we're going to begin to look at how we oftentimes don't take ownership over our own souls and how we, starting today, need to pay attention more to our souls and to better care for its health. Today's message is titled, Own It. So to start this lesson off, we're going to Genesis chapter 2, starting in verse 7. It says this: God formed man out of dirt from the ground and blew into his nostrils the breath of life. The man came alive, a living soul. You have a soul. I have a soul. Every single human being has a soul. Last week we talked about how we as humans are set apart, and we'll get more to that later, how we are special because we have souls. Unlike animals, unlike plants, unlike all the other cool creation that God has made, we are the only creatures that has a soul, something that lasts for eternity. For this lesson, we need to understand, and this is very important, that we have a responsibility when it comes to our soul. And it is our responsibility to own our soul. Now, here's what I mean. Obviously, you can't purchase a soul. You can't, go out and buy a soul. You have a soul. You were given a soul no matter what. However, it is our responsibility to take care of our souls, to actually pay attention to it, to actually care about its health, to do things that will help it grow and to prosper, and at the same time to also avoid things that are going to help deteriorate it, help rebuttal things that are going to try to diminish the health of our souls. In other words, a healthy soul requires work. Now, I know no one likes to hear that word, work, but work doesn't always have to be hard. Sometimes it does. But here's the thing, when it comes to our soul, it's worth it. In order for us to be healthy as human beings and as soul creatures, we have to take care of our souls. We have to take care of the thing that God has gifted us with, and we have to continually not just work on it like the bad term, but also feed it to do things that we talked about like last week that actually feed our souls, like rest. Now, here's another way to maybe make it easier to think about. So there's this one popular video on TikTok that came out like a few months ago, and in the video, I think it was a girl who was basically saying everyone's got this really cool thing in their house. It might be this, it might be that, but mine is this. And so it came like this popular trend on TikTok to where everyone would use that sound and they would show the different really cool things in their house. So here's a question for you. What is the most valuable thing that you own? Think about it. Think about your house. Think about all the things that you own, whether it's maybe a video game console, maybe it's a computer, maybe it's a really cool toy, whatever it is, just think about it. And think about how you take care of it. For me, for example, probably my most favorite valuable possession that I have is probably my lightsaber. I have other more expensive things. Kids don't count, by the way. My lightsaber I just really love. I love my lightsaber that Jessica gave to me for Christmas a couple years ago. For my lightsaber, when it comes to my valuable thing, I don't just leave it lying around. I don't just leave it on the living room floor. I don't leave it where the kids can reach it. I actually have it on a mantle above my fireplace. And I do that because I value it. I take care of it. I try to keep it healthy. I put new batteries in when I need to. I dust it off. I do things to make it stay healthy. And so it's the same thing with our souls, is our souls are incredibly valuable, but the value comes within the beholder, is how much are we willing to take care of our souls? How much are we willing to pay attention to it and to grow it and to keep it healthy, to dust off the things that might hinder it and to keep it alive and breathing? And here's an important reminder, is you only care about the things that you take care of. In other words, you can say all day long that you care about a certain subject, that you care about a certain toy you have, but at the end of the day, if you don't take care of it, it kind of says a lot about how much you actually care about it. So today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what it means to care for our souls and what it means to own our souls. So let's dive in with 3 ways that we can own our souls. For point number 1, we got 2 passages of scripture that I want to read real quick, found in 2 Peter and 1 Peter. Let's do it. 2 Peter 1:3 says, "By his divine power, God has given us everything we need for living a godly life." 1 Peter 1:13 through 16 says, "As obedient children, do not conform to the evil desires you had when you lived in ignorance. But just as he who called you is holy, so be holy in all you do, for it is written, 'Be holy, because I am holy.'" Point number 1 is to be holy. So part of the answer to what does it take to own our soul comes to the concept of holiness. Now, we talked a little bit about this before, but just in case you don't remember, or maybe you just weren't here for that. First off, holiness does not mean perfect. It's kind of a common misconception. A lot of people assume that in order for you to be holy, that you have to be perfect. But that's not the case, because God has called people holy in the Bible before, and even like Peter here, he's sharing that, hey, be holy. But obviously that doesn't mean we're perfect, because if that were the case, then none of us would ever be holy, because none of us are ever perfect. So rather, the word actually comes from this Greek word called hagios, and it means to be set apart. It's different, it's unique, it's one of a kind, so to speak. And that actually has a lot to do with our souls. Because we have a soul, we are set apart. We are different. We are, in a way, holy. We have just automatically this sense of us being set apart. And so when we have that understanding that we are already set apart because of God, that should elevate us to want to take care of the thing that makes us so set apart. It should be like that most valuable thing in your house or that you own. It should be set apart. It should be taken care of better. It should be looked at differently. And here's another way of looking at this. Because God has set us apart, because He is the one who chose to make us special, to set us, apart, to be unique, we need to take that seriously. We need to go, okay, God has given this gift to me. He's given me the breath of life. He has given me life itself. I need to take care of what God has given to me. I need to better look at what God has done for me and what He has given me, and I actually need to take care of it. And we do that by keeping our souls healthy. And just like what Peter said here in 2 Peter, is that God has given us everything we need, and we'll kind of talk more about that later. He has given us everything we need to keep our souls healthy. And so in order for us to own our souls, we need to, one, realize that we have been set apart. And now if we truly look at it that way, that, hey, our souls are set apart, we are set apart, we are special, we are unique, then that should elevate us to look at ourselves, look at our souls a little bit more highly, more respected, more revered, more with respect. Because we are valued, because God has set us apart, we should value ourselves more and our souls more. Okay, so here's one more way to look at this. Okay, let's say someone has invited you to prom. If you've never been invited to prom, don't worry, you're not alone. But let's say someone invites you to prom. That's really awesome, right? Just a mere fact that someone has invited you to prom, to go with them, that they chose you, set apart, is really cool. It's really exciting. Hey, this person wanted me to go with them. But here's the thing. When you get chosen to go to prom, that's not the end of it, is it? You don't just go, okay, cool, I'm going to prom. No, you prepare. You get a new suit, you get a new dress, you get whatever clothing items you need, you fix your hair a different way, you look a little bit different, you prepare yourself, you get a ride, you do all these things, you prepare yourself to go to prom. And it's the same way with our souls, is that God has given us this gift, He has chosen us, and now we have to prepare our souls, our hearts, to be with Him for eternity. And also just for the mere fact of just taking care of it for the right here and the right now. For point number 2, we're going to 1 Peter chapter 5. Stay alert, watch out for your great enemy, the devil. He prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Stand firm against him and be strong in your faith. Remember that your family of believers all over the world is going through the same kind of suffering you are. So last week we talked about my guy David. David was a king of Israel. He was a ruler, he was the guy who killed Goliath, all that stuff. And we talked about how he looked at the Sabbath and how he found rest in God. But our guy David also knew a thing or two about taking action. And that's point number 2, is to take action. You see, prior to David killing Goliath, David had a conversation with King Saul. And basically, David was volunteering to go and fight Goliath, and King Saul was like, yeah, who are you, scrawny little kid? And David goes in to tell him basically all of his adventures about killing these really big beasts. He goes on to the story about how he as a shepherd had to defend his flock, his sheep, from lions and bears and, well, there's no tigers, but from beasts and from things that were going against his sheep, and to protect them, he had to, go off and fight them. And that's first off, just crazy to think about. This dude, this little kid, is fighting bears and lions. When's the last time you killed a bear or a lion? But here's the thing, is that every time he would go out to do so, he would always kind of know, and he would proclaim that God is for him, that God is with him. In other words, when he went out to go fight that lion or that bear, he did so with the confidence that knowing that God was with him. And when he knew that God was with him and that he was going to take care of him, he would take action. And he would take that action and actually do something about his situation. So in the same way, when it comes to us, we need to guard our souls. We need to take action to sometimes protect ourselves, to protect our souls, and to do things that will help protect us in the long run. So this is a short point, but let me short up this one point into 3 smaller points. Number 1, in order for us to take action against the things that might hurt our souls, we need to, 1, be aware. Just like Peter says here, we need to be aware that there is an enemy. There is obstacles out there. There are things that are purposely trying to derail us, things that are trying to prevent us from living our best lives, from being close to God. One of the biggest ways that we can actually counter those things is being aware that they are actually there. A lot of times when it comes to the health of our souls, we kind of ignore the problems. We kind of ignore the things that might actually hurt us. Some things that aren't inherently bad, but things that like procrastination, like doing things that aren't joyful, like we talked about last week, doing things that may not be actually beneficial to our souls. We need to, 1, just be aware that there is an enemy out there who is actually trying to hurt our souls. Number 2, like David, we need to ask God to intervene. We need to go to him in prayer. We need to go to him and go, hey God, obviously I can't handle this all on my own. I need you. And then number 3, we need to take action. I mean, that's the point, but we need to take action. We need to pray about the things that are coming up against us. We need to do the things that God has called us to do. We need to actually, put down the game controller, put down social media, put down whatever it is that is preventing you from doing what God has called you to do, and just do it. Stop doing the things that are hurting us and do the things that God has called us to do. Now, I can't tell you what all those things are for you, but you can find most of it through the Bible, you can find most of it through his word, and also you have to have a prayer life with him. That's taking action, is reading and praying. So make sure that you are spending time taking care of your souls by taking action. For point number 3, we're going to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. God did not choose us to suffer his anger, but to possess salvation through our Lord Jesus Christ, who died for us in order that we might live together with him, whether we are alive or dead when he comes. And so encourage one another and help one another, just as you are doing now. So unfortunately, I believe there's a stigma out there that basically says that we shouldn't share our feelings, our emotions, our thoughts, and our struggles because there's a fear of shame or rejection. That if we begin to reveal the hard things in our lives, that if we begin to share the things that we find difficult, that people might look at us differently, that people might shame us, they might look at us in a negative manner, they might reject us for who we are. This stigma in this train of thought, I think, is actually exactly what the enemy wants. We talked about in point number 2 how there's an enemy out there against us. This is how he gets us, is he makes us believe that we are all alone. He makes us believe that if we can sweep our problems under the rug, that hey, it's not really a problem at all, that hey, it's not that big of a deal anyways, that if he can isolate us and get us to think that way, that will deteriorate our souls. That will make life not just harder, but it's going to make it impossible. God created us to be social beings. He created us to have community, to have relationship, to have connections with one another. And just like this passage of scripture shows, we are called to lift one another up. We are called to present ourselves to one another and to encourage one another, to help build each other up. Now, obviously, you don't go to everyone and their moms about what things you're struggling with. But what is so vital is that we need to find people in our lives that we can come to and we can be honest honest with and truthful with about the things that are challenging us, the things that we find hard to deal with, and the things that are challenging the health of our souls. Because honestly, the more we don't do that, the more that we choose to just hide, to hide our problems under the rug, as we said, to just dismiss the problems, it won't disappear, but rather like an infection, it'll spread. And it'll manifest itself in you, and it'll grow, and it'll turn you into something that you are not. And so in order for us to have healthy souls, in order for us to own our souls, in order for us to truly know that God has created us and He has created us special and unique, we need to realize that we can't do this alone. That we need people in our lives to help us and to be there for us, and vice versa, we need to be there for others as well. But we can't sweep it under the rug. We can't hide our problems. We can't dismiss the things that are challenging to us. That's not how God made us. That's not how we get to live through life. It's only going to hurt us if we keep things hidden, if we keep things out of sight and out of mind. We need to choose to confront those problems, to include people that we trust, to be alongside with us, to encourage us, to build us up, and to honestly go to God together to help get through these problems and these situations. Let me encourage you. Find someone you can trust. Find someone that you can be honest with, and that you can, express your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions and the health of your soul with. Whether it's me, another pastor, another close friend, find someone who can be there to connect with you and to help grow you and to help challenge those things that are facing you, because we're meant to do this together. So to wrap up this message, a healthy soul requires us to own it. It requires us to know that we have a soul, and it requires us to actually take ownership of it, to take action, to understand that in order for us to actually have a healthy life, to have a healthy soul, we need to work at it. And the only way that we can have truly healthy souls is to make sure that we are coming to Jesus constantly, to be there with Him, to have a relationship with Him, but to also seek out relationships with fellow believers.
Thanks you for checking us out on YouTube. Hope you like the message and the challenges. Michael, what do you think they should do afterwards, hearing the message?
I think they should get on their fuzzy sweaters and cuddle right by the fireplace alone, because one is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. Actually, what you guys should do is like and subscribe and share and subscribe. Oh, I did it twice. Hey, subscribe twice. I mean, what the heck, man? Go ahead. Yeah. So, blow it up. Hey, just want you guys to know, I hope you guys enjoyed the message today. It was absolutely awesome. PT really brought the power to it. And hey, make sure you put the little bell notification button. It's so that you can get more messages. It's somewhere down there.
Just like even rapidly.
Like just rapidly tap it. Even though it turns off, just keep going. Keep spamming it. So, make sure you guys hit that notification button, and we'll see you next week. Hope you guys enjoy.